Well, it's Friday, and you all know what that means. That means we're going to be doing some interesting reviews on a Friday. Our first one is coming from Japan with Ganbare Joshi, or as we call them, GanJo, with their latest event called GanJo Battle Garegga. Hopefully, I pronounced that right. Where it features, of course, YuuRi putting her first title defense as the Ice Infinity Champion against Amin Manaze, the younger sister of Yuna Manaze. And of course, we have Unagi making her appearance to take on Yoshiko Hasegawa. Then we move on with AEW Rampage. As you know, Darby Allin continues to go on a warpath against the Embassy after the vicious, heinous attack he suffered through them. We even got, of course, Saraya versus Skye Blue. Out of those two, one of them will walk out to get an opportunity to head to Wembley Stadium for that four-way for the AEW Women's title and plenty others. And of course, who levels up on this latest episode of NXT Level Up? Well, let's just find out. And of course, we have some news updates to tell what's been going on in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are putting out, who is booked, what matches are set, any injuries, signed wrestlers, the whole enchilada. So, let's get ready for another episode of the Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to the Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, Jay Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is where we do reviews of every pro wrestling show from any promotion. If you like this channel, please subscribe to us. You'll be getting a lot of reviews from various promotions from the ones that I just mentioned. But if you like this episode, please click like or give us a nice comment in the bottom of the description. So, let's start with our very first review. Coming out of Japan, this is Ganbare Joshi, or as we call them, GanJo, with their latest event called GanJo Battle Garegga. Hopefully I pronounced it right again, because I cannot pronounce crap properly if I don't practice it right in Japanese, or else I'm gonna get my ass kicked. So anyway, our very first match, we have Bayne Oikawa taking on Miyuki Matsumoto. Now, Bayne Oikawa, if you guys know who she is in the Joshi world, she originally came from the promotion Ice Ribbon, but she went on a hiatus. She left the company not too long ago, and she made her appearance all through the invitation of Miyako Matsumoto, who, of course, if you guys remember, Miyako Matsumoto wanted to get involved with GanJo, even though she was not invited. But however, Bayne had other intentions since arriving to GanJo, which of course for opportunity to be involved in intergender matches. However, GanJo doesn't officially do that. Now, if you guys remember clearly, when GanJo was first created, it was all about the Joshi wrestlers. That's always been the case right there. But of course, Bayne has to pick up some good wins in order if she gets an opportunity to go to Ganbare Pro. So we'll see what happens. But the match, I have to say, it was pretty good. I mean, the only thing that was really, factor in this particular match was Bayne's, ring rust. Now, I did say she was on a hiatus, so that kind of puts it into question. Will she still be able to do the things she did since she was still wrestling? Well, that's a good question. But however, it wasn't enough, even though she did a pretty good job holding her own as much as possible until Miyako did a reverse tiger driver, and boom, just like that, it was over right from there. So basically, Bayne has to rethink how to get an opportunity to go to Ganbare Pro. Now, our next match, this is an Ice Ribbon tag match, or they call it the Ice Ribbon offer. We have the women from Ice Ribbon making their presence known. We have Yappy. Yep. She teams up with Tsukina Umino. They take on Kao Matsushita, and of course Ibuki Hoshi. Um, I've seen Kao before, and Ibuki before. I've seen them. I mean, Ibuki's mom is a wrestler, but it was a pretty good match, decent. But one thing that it was interesting is Ibuki, who has grown so much as a wrestler. I remember seeing her many years ago, how young she was, and now she has grown up and grown up. And she was able to pick up a good win when she applied the Burning Star onto Umino, and just like that, she won. Now, this next match, we have Yoshiko Hasegawa taking on Unagi Sayaka. Now, this particular match was basically was called out by Hasegawa. Now, Hasegawa was looking for an opponent for GanJo, and she called out Unagi. Luckily for her, her schedule was practically open. In lightened terms, she had nothing else to do. I mean, she did came off a couple of matches recently with the exploding death match she was in, and with her team, and of course taking on Sakura Iroha. So that sort of thing. But what I have to say, the match was pretty interesting. I mean, what was the purpose of this particular match? Well, I can tell you this: as soon as this match was over, when of course Unagi applied the sliding Tanaka, which is the sliding lariat that Masato Tanaka did to her, Yoshiko confessed that she's been declared as the second Yoshi wrestler in Ganbare. You probably will ask me who's number one. Well, that's YuuRi, and I'll get to that in a bit. Now, for Hasegawa, she feels a little frustrated that she's number two, but Unagi gave her some words of encouragement. She tells her, win or lose, you're fighting for your life. So it's kind of interesting because Unagi has been in that predicament as well. Now, we all know the story about her recently, you know, why she left. She felt that she wasn't reaching the higher standards, but now she's been killing it in the independents as a freelancer. But of course, Hasegawa really was delightful for her words of encouragement, because Unagi, despite that she has lost many matches, she's refusing to give up. So she's telling Hasegawa, don't give up. You're fighting for your life here, win or lose. So that kind of sets the whole thing up. So I can't wait. I wouldn't be surprised if those two team up, because Unagi is making friends left and right wherever she goes. So yeah. Now our next match is a tag team match. We have Riara teaming up with Surumi Natsu, taking on who was it again? Alex Lee and Maya Yuhiki. I thought this match was pretty good because, you know, I didn't expect for Riara and Surumi Natsu to get along very great, but it seems like they can get along. But unfortunately, this match ended with Yuhiki applying the whiteout on Riara, and just like that, it was over. Now, our main event, this is for the Ice Infinity Championship. Now, those who probably ask yourselves, what the hell is the Ice Infinity Championship? Now, this is not an official belt from Ganbare Joshi. This is from the promotion Ice Ribbon. YuuRi not too long ago defeated Totoro for this belt, and now she's willing to defend it wherever she goes. She was the one who requested this match to happen against Ami Manase, the younger sister of Yuna Manase. I have to say it was a pretty good match. I mean, these two women really did a fantastic job. Like, you know, YuuRi would try to determine to be. I mean, I did say this before at the DWZ discussion video about YuuRi, that I do believe that YuuRi will be the ace of Ganbare Joshi, and I've always believed that. And of course, that never changed my opinion on that. And of course, YuuRi did prove it why she's going to be the ace of the promotion when she defeated Ami with the Swanton Bomb. However, she apparently got a surprise visit from someone from Ice Ribbon, and that is Ibuki Hoshi. I had a feeling that something was going to happen like that, because many wrestlers who come from promotions like this, they cannot stand to see their belts being in the hands of outsiders. You know, I mean, the last outsider that before YuuRi that had this belt was Sario Inoi, who was not officially with the promotion, but it would make sense. But Oshi did state it. She's going to win this belt by the end of this year. So we'll see what happens. But as for YuuRi, I've always believed that she is going to be the ace, and she said it herself that she considers herself being the ace of the promotion. It would make sense. So she's right now being at the top of the promotion. So I have to say, I can't wait to see what else they'll do here. So I think that's pretty much it with Ganbare Joshi or GanJo. Let's move on with AEW Rampage. Okie dokie, AEW Rampage opened up with Darby Allin versus Brian Cage. Now, Darby Allin has been now in a war against Strickland and, of course, his mobile embassy. As you know, they've been causing nothing but problems for Darby Allin recently. As you know, they attacked Nick Wayne, and recently they tried Darby Allin, along with Sting, laid out the gauntlet against Swerve Strickland and to take it to Wembley Stadium. However, he has to go through first Brian Cage, who is a big dude, the Machine. But you know that this type of match will show the resilience from Darby. I mean, even though he's a small guy, but you can try to crush him, beat him however you want, but it does not break his fighting spirit no matter what. But he was able to pick up the win when he applied an inside cradle, a last minute move you would least expect. Even Brian Cage was in disbelief. But as soon as the match was over, Luchasaurus, who we like to say is the real TNT champion, attacked Darby Allin under barking orders from Christian. Now, Christian Cage, who believes that Darby Allin is not ready for this belt or doesn't deserve it due to his distractions towards Strickland. But, of course, who is he to decide who Darby Allin is getting involved in or not? But that's how it is. Now, our next interview we have is with Renee Paquette with Britt Baker, who is one of the final competitors that will be involved in another match involving the fatal four-way that will take place at Wembley Stadium. Her opponent is none other than the Bunny. Now, Britt did say that she respects the Bunny and she can't wait to see her, who's been rehabbing after she got injured. But however, putting aside her how she feels about the Bunny, she feels that she has to do what she has to do to win to get to Wembley Stadium. And that is 100% true. So she knows that she has to put that to the side and focus on this particular match. So we'll see how that rolls up. Now, our next match is for the AEW International title. We have Johnny TV versus, of course, the champion Orange Cassidy. Now, of course, you probably think this is going to be interesting because QTV is out there making sure this match will fall in favor of Johnny TV. But however, Harley Cameron was distracting the referee. Orange Cassidy was not an idiot, so he played a very smart play. He was walking towards the ref, pulled him to the front, and showed him that, oh, look who's in the ring. We have Aaron Solo and QT involved. And of course, Bryce Winsberg decided to tell them, you, and you're out of here. So basically, they got caught. Or should I say, they were outsmarted by the most smartest person you probably think in the ring, Orange Cassidy. But however, Orange Cassidy has to put that to the side, knowing he's facing a tremendous athlete. And of course, out of nowhere, Wheeler Yuta shows up. It appears Wheeler Yuta has still some deep grudge against Orange Cassidy, who he felt that he claims that Orange Cassidy never cared for him when he was under his tutelage. But unfortunately, things did not go exactly like what Johnny TV would have wanted. He ended up being on the wrong side of the beach break, and that was pretty much it. But Orange Cassidy was not an idiot. He was calling out Wheeler Yuta that he was going to beat the crap out of him. But out of nowhere, here comes the other members of the BCC, Mox and Claudio. But however, next week, Wheeler Yuta laid out the gauntlet and challenge that he wants Orange Cassidy's title on the line and take it from him once and for all. But of course, Orange Cassidy is not going to back down from any challenge, no matter what. Now, our next match, we have Aussie Open versus the Outrunners. Well, you can guess that this match ended with Aussie Open. But there was one thing that, of course, later on after defeating the Outrunners with the Coriolis, let's just say that they heard what Better Than You, Baby actually said. They don't 100% convinced that MJF and Adam Cole are a much stable tag team as they claim they are. Now, we can talk about that in a discussion episode. Like, tell the difference between actual tag teams who've been together versus makeshift teams that were made at the last moment, that sort of thing. But Aussie Open nonetheless decided, you know what, let's just accept the challenge. So that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be during the kickoff of All In at Wembley Stadium, so we'll see how that rolls out. Now, our next match, we have Saraya along with the Outcast taking on Skye Blue. Now, of course, X Factor of this match is the Outcast, that would do whatever it takes. This match goes straight to Saraya. Now, Toni Storm has cashed in her rematch clause, so she gets an automatic bye. So we already witnessed Hikaru Shida defeating Anna Jay. She's already in it. And right now we have Saraya versus Skye Blue. One of these two ladies will be heading to Wembley Stadium for that four-way match for the AEW Women's World Title. However, once again, the Outcasts got involved. And of course, Saraya gets her opportunity and golden ticket to go to Wembley Stadium. So it ends just like that. But also, you see the Outcast beating the crap out of Skye Blue. So that's how it ends right there. So I think that's pretty much it with AEW. Let's move on with NXT Level Up. Okay, who levels up on this latest episode of NXT Level Up? Let's find out. Now, our first match, we have Dante Chen versus Damon Kemp. Now, as you know, Damon Kemp has now turned a new leaf for himself, decided to prove his worth towards, what's their name? Drew Gulak and Charlie Dempsey. Now, the obvious thing is, we know Dante Chen has all the talent and the tools that he needs. He is like the heavy favorite to win, but you're facing a guy who is in fact a collegiate wrestler who with a tremendous background. However, would that be enough for Dante Chen to pull off a miracle? To that, no. Apparently, Damon Kemp applied a very good striking combination with one move, and I forgot what was the one move that I cannot remember what it was, with the neck breaker giving him the win. So I'm sure that Gulak and what's his name, Dempsey, are proud to see that he's proving his worth. Now, we do get a little interview before we head out to our main event. We have Tevon Heights, who, as you know, had an incredible match recently against Axiom. But however, he's going to have a much tougher match against Joe Gallows. Now, he's not an idiot. He knows that he's facing one of the toughest SOBs on the planet. So he has to be well prepared against a guy like him. Now, our next match, we have Fallon Henley taking on Izzy Dane. This is her second or third time being on NXT Level Up, but Fallon Henley, who's continuing to grow and try to level up before we see her proceed to maybe one day become the NXT Women's Champion. I think Fallon did a pretty good job in this match when she applied none other than the Shining Wizard, and it was over right from there. And all you can say, yeehaw, just like that. Now, our main event, we have Joe Coffey versus Tavon Heights. Now, I mentioned this. Tavon Heights has to put his A game on, knowing he's not facing a slouch. He's facing a most dangerous person, or should I say, a much pissed off dangerous person, because as you know, the Gallus boys are lost the top spot as with the tag team titles. So you probably can guess that Joe Coffey is out for blood, and they think Tavon Heights is the guy who's probably going to give it to him. But what he did when he applied the Belfast, giving him the win. So just like that. But I had to say Tavon Heights did stick it in there, and nothing wrong with it. But however, it was the strength of Joe Coffey that pick up the win. So I think that's pretty much it right now with all the reviews. I think it's time for some news updates. Alright, welcome to our news update. So this is what we have. As you know, Takumi Iroha is our brand new West Coast Pro Women's Champion. However, the gauntlet was laid out to her as soon as she defeated Masha Slamovich. Johnny Robbie issued a challenge towards her to be the first person to take her on, and this is going to take place at From the West Coast with Love later on next month. So we will see that match taking place. Now, Takumi Iroha had also it was announced that she will be making an appearance at Prestige Wrestling for Decimating the Week that will take place in October. So we got plenty of times until then. Now, a very interesting thing was talked about by the Wrestling Observer, my bad. The Wrestling Observer towards Kenny Omega. Now, the initial assumption we all been expecting is Kenny will be facing against Konosuke Takeshita in All In. However, it appears that Wrestling Observer are starting to believe that this match between Kenny Omega and Konosuke Takeshita could take place in All Out instead of All In. Now, some of you may go right now saying, but why All Out instead of All In? Well, apparently there's been a rumor that the match in All In will be Kenny Omega, Hangman Page, and Kota Ibushi taking on Jay White, Juice Robinson, and Takeshita. So basically, they had other there's rumors about other plans. But however, until something has been announced, I believe the only time we will find those answers is possibly when we hear from that interview that Kenny Omega will say with Jim Ross. I think that's my honest opinion. That's where we will hear the information on that. Now, for the Multiverse United event between Impact Wrestling and New Japan, they'll take place on the 20th of August. We're going to have the Bullet Club versus the World. So this is who Bullet Club has in their side. We have, of course, David Finlay, Alex Coughlin, Kenta, Clark Connors, Ace Austin, and Chris Bay, taking on Josh Alexander, PCO, Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, LP, and the DKC. So I can't wait to see how that match goes around. Now, another entry for the All-Star Junior Festival taking place later on in August 19th. They announced Alex Shelley, our current Impact World Champion, will be participating in this event. Now, a match has been announced for the GCW Homecoming Night 2 on the 20th of August. The GCW Ultraviolent Championship will be on the line. Rina Yamashita defends the title against Violento Jack. Now, Tony Khan has announced for something that's going to take place. Now, many of the storylines will be put on hold for the time being. They are bringing back Fight for the Fallen. Now, the reasons behind the reasons for that was, as you guys know, what's been going on in the Pacific, most specifically in Hawaii and Maui. They want to do something special for them. So, all 3 shows taking place will be, in fact, all Fight for the Fallen. So basically, they're trying to make awareness to help the people of Maui. I mean, this is not the first time that they do something like this, but it's great that they're doing something positive to help bring awareness about what's been going on in Maui. But they will return to schedule like later on the 16th of this month. So that is something we could be expecting, but we'll find out. But anyway, a match has been announced for the Bigshow event by Sendai Girls on the 2nd of September. I didn't mention certain matches were announced. Well, this one was announced. We have Yorika Oka taking on Natsupoi. So this is going to be a good match, in my opinion, to watch. Still no yet what's going to happen with Kairi, but we'll see what happens soon enough. Now, recently there was a signing or something taking place with Stardom. Tam Nakano had some interesting words to say towards her opponent for this coming Sunday. This one was revealed by Tokyo Sports. This is what Tam said to Megan Bayne. I will make you cry and let you return to your homeland. I will destroy the giant Megasis. Megan replies, you already dead. Tam replies back, I will never die. Look at the heavens. You should be able to see it. Death omens star. So what is that supposed to mean in some capacity? Well, Megan Bayne is completely confident enough saying that she will defeat Tam and walk away with the red belt. However, Tam has worked Mary Miracles in the past, not to mention taking on the biggest challenges of her career. I mean, we all know the biggest challenge of her life was against Julia and all this other stuff, but we'll see what happens until then. I think that's pretty much it for our news update, so let's just call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, we have Choco Pro 325, my bad, taking place. And of course, we got more on the G1 Climax. Now, we are now in the semifinals of the matches. I believe Will Ospreay will be taking on Tetsuya Naito, Kazuchika Okada against Evil. But the obvious question is, which one of these guys will head to the finals? Well, that's going to be a very interesting to observe. And of course, we cannot forget AEW Collision. Now, I haven't decided yet if there's going to be other reviews I may do before that. But until then, we'll just see how that grows up. Stay tuned. We'll be doing another Unagi Sayaka watch in the later on. Don't know when. And also a DWZ discussion about Kairi. Then we will have another special episode. We'll be reviewing Evolution Girls for the first time. This is where, of course, these events are just past recent that began all the way from March all the way to now. But we'll see how that goes out. I'll be doing more reviews on these special episodes. So I think that's pretty much what we have for now. So until then, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang.